There we go. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, we're here at Charm Reads, everybody. Today, class, we will be discussing the book Dark Matter by Blake Crouch.
That we all have fresh in our memory, and we all
Yes,
know.
which we all finished reading last night, and not in 2017. But I guess I should do announcements, right, before we get started.
Yeah.
The stream can hear some bumping music in the background. I think it actually might be a little bit too loud and too intense. So let me turn that down. Okay. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central is Hear Me Out. The next episode of Hear Me Out. It's Charm Person's take on Smarty Pants from Dropout, if you've watched that. We present a topic and we try to get you to hear us out. We try to convince you of something. Previous topics have included why you should sleep with your boss, why the animated film Big Hero 6.
No.
You don't remember?
Why the animated film...
Why the Lego movie should have won.
Yes, why the
Best
Lego movie
animated
was
feature.
the biggest Oscar snub of all time.
Academy.
So, if you want passionate presentations like that, tune in at 7 p.m. Central tomorrow. And then Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, we will have the next episode of Curse of Strahd, inching ever so close to the end of that campaign, so come and check that out. And then Sunday at 12 p.m. Central, we will have the next episode of Campaign 3. So come see what happens then. So that's all the announcements. So let's talk about Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I guess first and foremost, we just say like initial takes, what we thought about it.
I love it.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
it was really good.
I thought it was great.
Obsessed. Couldn't put
It was so good. Yeah, it was very fun. I think for having some hard sci-fi stuff in it. It is also a really easy to follow
Digestible.
digestible book, especially when you start to have multiple universes collapsing in on themselves. It gets a little out of hand in those types of settings. And this one manages to keep it all pretty tidy, I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah, my initial take was this is really fun. It's a cool concept. I read through it so fast, which it's been a while since I've had a book that it grabs hold of me like that. So I was really happy to have that when I read through this.
Yeah, it was really I haven't read a book that fast in a while. I mean,
Yeah.
Kelsey, how fast did you read the book?
3 hours.
20 minutes.
3 hours.
I was trying to be
insane.
Eric, though. Eric.
The thing I learned about this book is
faster
never
than me.
challenge Kelsey to a reading
reading
competition because she will
contest.
embarrass you.
Yeah, truly embarrassed. Yeah.
So nervous too because I read most of it in the morning, but then I had to go do something, and I was like, Eric's gonna finish it.
I was trying so hard. I spent way more than 3 hours on it.
That's so
How-
funny.
How many hours?
Not way more. I finished it in a weekend.
Huh.
I mean, I finished it in a week, and that's a lot for me. I mean, that's quick. I don't
It's
finish
fast
it that quick.
paced.
Yeah, it moves
the
really
way
quick.
the way it's written, it's very punchy.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
300 some pages, but it doesn't feel like
Yeah.
342 pages. It's thin, one sentence, so you can really kind of move through it. Yeah, a bit faster.
Yeah.
A lot of breaks in the text.
It's very prose heavy. I'm not usually a fan of first person point of view. I don't know why. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. But it didn't bother me at all with this book. I didn't really notice it at all, and I don't know necessarily why. I don't know why. Maybe it was just written really well, but. Yeah, it didn't bother me at all. I liked being inside his head. And I also think this book couldn't have happened outside of first-person point of view. Because you needed a steady point of view throughout the whole thing, or else it would have gotten way too confusing. We always knew we were our Jason. We could rely on that piece of information.
Jason Prim.
Yeah.
It would have gotten so insanely confusing if we didn't know. If you went with unreliable narrator for this book, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah.
I already was like, wait a minute, why are there 70 whatever Jasons?
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
So I mean, I guess do we need to like I don't know. I'm genuinely asking. Should we go over the plot at all, as far as like a recap of it?
We could try. I think it'd be funny if we tried.
Okay, Eric, I'm gonna give you 60 seconds.
No.
Yeah. We're gonna see.
You got this.
Maybe we each get 60 seconds just to see how how quickly we can do it.
Okay, I like it.
Sure. Okay, Eric, start.
I watched a 3-minute video on it.
Okay, ready? Well, actually, when you start speaking, I'll start.
I don't remember characters' names though. Jason Prime.
There's only
is a family man. I know, and I remember Jason. Jason Prime is a scientist. He used to be a good scientist. Now he's a family man, and he wonders what if he, completed his big science thing. Then he gets captured. He doesn't know who did it. He gets transported to another universe where he is a big science guy. And so he tries to figure out why. He wants to find his wife and his kid who don't exist. Well, his kid doesn't exist, but his wife does. It's important. And then I think she gets shot at one point. And then he finds out.
Oh my God.
I got 18 seconds. All right. He goes to another box. They go to a bunch of different universes with somebody named Amanda, who's a psychiatrist. She ditches him because he won't admit that he's lost. And finds his wife and his kid. 72 Jasons, big John Wick shootout, and then the kid picks their home.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm glad we didn't make me go first. It's been a while since.
I feel like if you go after that, I mean, I pretty much. What else do you have to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we don't have to do everybody, but.
This is a task that we only make Eric do.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I love it.
All right, perfect. That was the story. That was the
Chicago.
recap. Yeah.
It's in
Chicago.
I was gonna say, yeah,
We're talking multiverse.
He's
We're
a quantum
talking,
mechanics physicist, so you get some quantum deliciousness in there.
Yeah. My first question would be, what did you think I'll say when the kidnapping happened first and foremost. So right when the kidnapping happened, what did you think was going down?
Oh my God.
I knew what was happening.
You had it.
I watched the trailer for the Apple TV show. And that's how I found out about the book. I had never heard about it before.
Interesting.
And they completely ruined that in the trailer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does happen relatively quickly, I guess.
Yeah, but I already knew, so I'll excuse myself.
Yeah.
I thought that he gets kidnapped, right, by this mystery stranger.
Yeah.
He gets sent to, we don't know where he ends up. Like, we don't know it's an alternate universe right away. So I thought that he had been planted into a false reality, like, to live out a person's life to test things. Like, I thought that he was the person they thought he was, and he just didn't remember yet. And I genuinely thought that he just had to, like, spend the time to get back. So then he left, and I was like, well, what happens now?
Wow, so the whole time they were, like, testing him and stuff, you thought he genuinely just didn't remember who he was.
I thought he genuinely didn't remember
That's
who he was.
super
And, like, his wife was fake and kid were
that
fake.
all of
That
it was a fake
would be a good book.
reality.
Wow.
I thought it was all a fake reality situation.
That's
That
very interesting.
He had agreed to go in and do this, whatever test or whatever reasoning there was behind it. I thought he agreed to do it, but he came out and he had gotten scrambled somehow. I didn't remember. So I didn't see any twist coming. And
that's
crazy.
Every twist coming. That's honestly a super really interesting. That's wow. That's I wouldn't have even thought to look at it that way. That was a really interesting take.
Maybe I'll write that book.
Yeah, I thought it was. I had a pretty strong sense that it was multiverse, but I thought it was multiverse specifically via time dilation, like via butterfly effect. Like I thought it was like I thought it was like a time travel, different timelines thing, which it kind of is, but not really. No one does any time travel. But that's what I thought it was at first. What about you, Sophie?
Yeah, I thought a very similar thing where it's like, we're gonna go into timelines, we're gonna go into like these other like experiences that his body has had like in other universes, and then the twist of it being like that it is multiverse and that there are other versions of him, and they do such a good job of like keeping that kind of back pocket the whole time of like it tricks the reader into being like, why did I not think of this as a consequence until so much further into the book than you like, oh no, of course there's other Jasons, and of course they have like motivating factors to like not accept Jason Prime into this space and want to go after like these things. So
I had that exact same slap in the face, Sophie, of like, oh, of course there are other Jasons, and of course there are Jasons that are so close that they basically are Jason Prime. I mean, the only reason we knew they weren't is, once again, because it was in first person. Like, that's the only reason we had to know that we were following the same Jason throughout the entire time. But, like, it was crazy to, like, I just had that same slap in the face of, like, oh, yeah, of course this is going to be a problem. And also, the moral question there is, like, I mean, she genuinely, like, from her perspective, his wife's perspective, she's just picking, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Kelsey, what? You said, like, you cut out in the middle part.
Just
there.
Your audio. Your video was fine.
James saw the whole thing coming, and I did not. And so he saw the same thing. He's like, well, how is she supposed to pick? And I was like, I didn't even know what was going on until 2 seconds too late. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. They all branch off when he does the, so it's...
Because realistically, any version of Jason after the kidnapping is Jason Prime.
Yeah.
To her, specifically. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Because they're all from that universe
or whatever,
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, right?
Yeah,
isn't that
They all had different adventures after that, but yeah.
But they were all from that. They had that specific Jason's core values and memories and personality.
That's the one thing that I was a little disappointed with, is I thought it was a bit too tidy of an ending. Like, I wish that it was a little longer, and I never say this. I wish the book was a little longer, and I wish that it grappled with that a bit more, because Daniela did have a concern about that. She's like, well, how am I supposed to go kill, because they were like gonna kill everyone. They're like, how am I supposed to kill these people who are you also? And then she's just kind of at one point pretty quickly is like, no, it's you, we're going. And I'm like, wait, what? That was a very big
it is like they did give up very easily, it felt like to me, the other Jasons. And I know and I get it, and this is the only way really.
I mean, there was a big shootout.
Well, I'm talking about at the warehouse.
When they were walking through.
They were outnumbered like 100 to 1, you know what I mean? But I think he did justify it this way, and it is the only way you can justify it, of like, if they did truly love her, they would want her to be with who she chose to pick.
There's only one of her and one of the kid from...
Out of all 100 of them, not one of them's like, no, fuck that. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, you know what I mean? Like...
You're just gonna let her walk away?
Yeah. I'll let him get right up to the box, but then I'm gonna shoot him in the fucking head, and then I'm Jason.
Yeah.
You know?
It is an interesting thing, where it's like, they aren't... This isn't like multiverse theory in the way that we've seen it, like, in like Rick and Morty or anything like that, where it's like all of these other lifetimes of experiences culminating in like vastly different versions of yourself that you wouldn't even recognize as you. This is for the last however many hours, basically.
They were basically clones of him. I mean,
and from a very specific like space and window, and like it does make you think that they're like, oh, then like, is Jason Prime, would Jason Prime have actually accepted that, or is he whatever blend of things that have happened here, like, because he believes so strongly in this, they're like, no, I'm the one who said yes, Sophie, like at the right moment.
I was listening to what you were saying and do completely agree. However, are you actively in a moving vehicle?
What do you mean? No, I'm on the Hollywood Walk of Fame right now.
I heard the turn signal and I was like...
When I saw some light kind of move.
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, yeah, for legal reasons.
Sophie is in Hollywood.
There's a train going by Sophie with a lot of different lights and sounds.
That's right.
Absolutely amazing.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, it was a very interesting, and just like props to him for being such a unique, like I haven't read anything or heard anything like that before. Like obviously, multiverse is a thing, but you know,
read any of his other books?
I wanted to after that book, but I went into kind of a fantasy binge, so I have not read any more of his.
I haven't read anything else by him.
I haven't either. Has he read? Me. Has
Beyond
he's a pretty prolific author.
Good amount of
Beyond the Pines was his like next like most popular series, and
which
that also got a
the
TV,
movie.
Was that
right?
the one with Ryan Gosling?
Yes, I think that is the same Beyond the Pines. Yeah.
Oh.
Which isn't really sci-fi, but I don't think his only gig is sci-fi.
Here's a very interesting tidbit as I'm looking through the Wikipedia page. In November of 2014, so the book was published in 2015. November 2014, Sony Pictures made a preemptive bid of $1.25 million for Dark Matter based only on the incomplete 150-page manuscript. So the fact that they bought it before it was even done, I think is pretty telling.
Yeah, they were literally like, "Oh, this is gonna be good."
Well, if they're anything like me, they saw the cover of this book and they're like, "I want to read this."
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
The cover is
it's
cool.
a very like
yeah. I know that people say don't judge a book by a cover, but there's nothing really else to judge them on, so I kind of have to judge them
by
by
covers.
cover.
I definitely judge
because that's all you can see. So that's what I have to go off of. Another question that I had was, what are our thoughts on feral Jason and what the fuck he went through? So just as a reminder, as he was going through the several doors, the several boxes, one of the times that he had injected himself, he ran into like a really feral, like dirty, bloody version of himself that was like wide-eyed and wild. What do we think happened there?
Could it have been the one from the Apocalypse world?
Could have been.
Maybe something.
To see it in the box is fucked.
That's the part that because it implies
Yeah.
that it's someone who has had access to the box, which is why I don't think it was just like the post-apocalypse guy. But I'm saying like it's not the guy who was like from that world, right?
Yeah, that's
because
true.
that was a James that, or Jason that probably never had the box, and so it was like it's implied that it's one of the Jasons that was like going throughout the box. So like
I wonder if the box malfunctioned in that universe, like it didn't work, or there was an explosion, or a fight or something. Oh my god. Ugh.
Also, what do we think is going to happen with Ashley?
Oh yeah. We don't know, do we?
Is it Ashley?
Gone.
Amanda?
Amanda, my bad. Yeah,
Amanda is the name of the
and what was the deal? Like they hint that Amanda and Jason too were close because she seems to care
in the
about
show,
him, but
they
dive into it.
Well, when he goes to the other world, he's like in a relationship with Amanda, I think. I believe.
Which totally tracks, I think. Like
they
there
hinted
is,
at, yeah,
there's a very real possibility that like in an alternative universe that would have absolutely been the case, and there's probably versions of them out there that we don't follow that point of view, right?
Yeah.
Can we also talk about how? And I realize that
talk about whatever we want. Zach.
Well, and I realize because this isn't necessarily about the book. And also, we aren't necessarily experts on this subject, and I want to I want to preface with that.
You don't know.
What?
No, you don't want to say that. But the fact that they cast Jennifer Connelly, a pale Irish woman, as Danielle Vargas, who is described multiple times for her Spanish culture and like her Spanish tendency, it's just felt like I just didn't understand necessarily. There's no shortage of talented Spanish female actresses, so I just was confuddled by that choice. And maybe maybe that's all that needs to be said, and we can just leave that out there. But that was weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's worth acknowledging at the very least. Yeah.
I totally agree.
But speaking of Danielle, loved her as a character. I wish we had more of her. And can we talk about the pandemic scene? Oof.
Fucking devastating. I was like, damn.
First of all, just like,
damn.
Sophie, imagine reading that post-COVID.
Right. Yeah.
I mean it was a so different take on that, and a really like accurate. I mean, it was PTSD a little bit, honestly, reading that scene.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think about that as often as I should because I think it's just now baked into who I am as a person, unfortunately. Yeah. But like, every pandemic, anything for the rest of our lives is gonna have a different tinge to it. Isn't that weird?
I know, yeah. And that was because that was written pre-COVID.
2017.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. What would you do if you were Jason Prime?
I mean, I guess try to do what he did, but if I saw 72 Erics,
would you have fought that hard?
Yeah, but I'm fighting me, and I know I can't fight, so it'd be like a real weird fucking.
I know all you losers can't fight, but neither can I, so I don't necessarily.
It'd be a lot of out of breath people just like, hold on a second.
Well, I
don't know.
I think this is the thing that this is like being able to put myself in the shoes of the Jasons who like were accepting of it. That it's like,
Yep.
I want my as much as I want to be with that person, like I know that they are with a version of me.
Yeah.
And that they are happy, and like a version of me gets to have that. And
the worst version of you, though. It's like the bad version of you.
Do you know that you are Jason Prime, though?
They all think they are.
Exactly. So you don't know that you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Just talking about Kelsey's point when Kelsey's like, but it's a different one. It's like, but is it? Maybe they're the right one.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. But it'll never feel that way to you because you are you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a real mind fuck of an issue that he went through. Like.
Yeah, I genuinely don't believe I would have been smart enough to figure this out. So I will honestly and wholeheartedly say I would have had to give up at some point.
I guess in this world we are.
I think
like
I'm with Kelsey. I think I would have.
Though.
Yeah. I guess that's a good point. That's a good point. That is a good point.
So you gotta.
I would have tried, certainly, just for the sole fact that I think Jason's perspective makes sense. Like if I think about me in his shoes, it's like, okay, the person that you love, especially if you had a kid, right? Like I think that would change a lot. But like just being married now, it's like, okay. Knowing that, and maybe you don't know for sure that they took your shoes, like, you can assume that, but what if they're waiting for you and you never show up, and, like, that would be a terrible thing to experience.
Oof.
You don't want them to think that you're dead, so, like, I think there's a real push there for sure, where I'd be like, certainly try.
So let's say you take Sophie's path, which is a path that most Jasons had to take, which is acceptance that we're not going to be with the person that we think we're going to be with. So, like, the journey has kind of ended at this point. Where do you then go? Do you stay in this universe? Do you go try to find another?
Did they have more juice?
Some of them did.
I was gonna say,
some of them did. Some of them didn't. And so let's assume that you do, right? And then then my question is what kind of universe do you try to find?
See, that's where we're going to get into season 2.
At this point in time, do you buddy up with the other Jasons?
Yeah, that's a great question too.
Do you buddy up with the other Jasons, try to make more juice to hunt that Jason again? I think that there's definitely there's a group of people that do that.
There are for sure, but is that what Eric's
gonna be like?
Yeah, if I'm stranded there, I'm like, who wants to hunt this man and my child? And
Eric's like, hey, I know we all just stood here and watched that happen, but can we talk about how we can maybe turn this around? Yeah. That's respectable.
I would want to hope that there's more who choose them themselves.
Yeah.
Or they create a Jason utopia.
Yeah. Just a
I
bunch
feel
of
like there's gonna be
guys
an-
I would
hanging
not
out.
want that.
There's
I
going to
would
be like
not
an
want
infinite
all
amount of
these-
incoming Jasons though, because they're all the other ones are still trying to get to this world. They
That's
don't
the
know
thing.
that
There
that
were
one
what
left.
at the end, like
You know,
700 at the end or something crazy
Yeah.
like that. Because every
Yeah,
time
there
the
would
chat came up,
consistently-
that's
I
going to
was
be the
like,
Jason
"There's
universe.
It
you know?
would slow down eventually because time is still linear.
Right.
So it would be like, you
There's
know,
only
it's like
so
if
many
someone showed up
possibilities
12
for
years
one
later,
thing.
it would be someone who was like in there for 12. You know what I mean? Like that would be.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
trying to
they
get there
would
for
trickle
12
down
years, yeah.
eventually, but yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much probably infinite. Like there would still be some every once in a while, which is definitely something to deal with. I
And
think
if they
that I
work
would just
together,
try to
they
plan,
could
like,
hunt the other Jason. I mean, I'm just gonna 700 Jasons. I'm thinking.
I think if I had the power and enough juice, I would just
Thanksgiving
try to
versus
find.
100 lions.
I would just try to find a place where that Zach had died at like a young age,
Yes.
and I just like come
Figure
in
it
and
So
I just like
you're just gonna scare everybody that
no
thought
like
you died like 20 years ago.
no I'll change my name and shit. Like I'm saying like I just like it's a universe where I'm not gonna run into an alternate version of me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like I'll be the only me in that universe.
Try to go
I
to
would
that
live in
future
Ireland.
universe, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd go to Ireland and I'd live in Ireland.
Yeah.
And I would probably try to find a place that was progressed further scientifically than my own.
Same.
Because why not?
Yeah, of
like,
course.
if I'm a quantum physicist, I'd want to have like the knowledge and the ability to.
I'd want to have access to the medical technology.
Hell,
Yeah.
Maybe try to get more juice and just become a traveler forever.
that would be.
That would
cool.
also
Time
be
travel.
dope. That would be a really
That would be
cool,
cool.
and is a great setup for many
But you'd be
seasons
so
of the Apple
lonely.
TV series.
You never form a real connection. It's all fleeting.
What about you, Soph? What would be your universe that you would want to find?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's me. It's versions of me.
Yeah.
I think like
Sophie's like, I'm really into myself.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, right? I like myself quite a bit. And, I would want
We'd
to
all try it.
like deep introspection of like having another version of yourself to like talk to, like these like interpersonal things with for a very long time.
Talk to.
That knows who you are also, and like what you like want, and like the things that you've kept secret from like everyone else,
And vice versa, so you don't have to like.
but,
There's
like,
no
I
like
feel-
second doubt of the other person, and like.
yeah, absolutely, because we are so close in time that it is like it's not that there's like a huge vast like difference between me and like the other Sophies in this room. Also, like we've all gone through this weird thing together, and it's like, let's talk about that. What are the ethics of now there's like a bunch of us in this space.
Sophie's just like, let's go get a drink, guys. Like, you just want to go get a drink.
Let's go get a drink. Hey, guys, let's go get a drink.
Group therapy
Let's
session.
find
and then-
like a co-op, or like at this point in time, it's like, yeah, if we have to like, if I have to deal with like the situation of capitalism in this life, and I have a bunch of copies of myself. Hey, gang. At least 7 of us are getting together, and we're working every different day at different jobs.
Ooh,
Yes!
that's nice.
genius.
All of us
But you
only
still
to
have
work
7
one day a week.
people to like support, though.
Yeah, it's like a
Sure.
family. You know?
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
that's so great. I love that so much.
the implication of having that many of one person in a
I would
like,
hate-
imagine if there were 700 yous.
I would be so annoyed with all of them.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, shut the fuck
But
up.
think about the bureaucracy of our government system and like social security numbers.
Kelsey's just like, how would it work?
The logistics.
screwed. Like, oh my god, you'd be so screwed. Do
Like,
they
the only
bring
way
their
it would
social
work-
Security card?
Everybody
But
would
they
just
all-
have to get like
Safe?
a separate identity. Like everybody.
But
would
they
have
all
to-
are like super smart physicists, so I mean, it could.
Yeah,
do
that's
a
what I was gonna
lot
say. Is
of-
like, in this case, if we're all science lads,
Yeah.
the science lads.
I wonder. Yeah,
700 science lads.
are we at a spot where we can talk about like compare this to like other media?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Because there are a lot of like multiverse theories. There are a lot of like clone things out there.
Yeah.
Like, was it the Paul Rudd Living with Yourself?
Yeah. That was
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that one's a very good one.
It walked so
And then,
Severance
another
can
one
run,
that just came out
and I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, has anybody seen? It's still new. Is Mickey 17?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. No.
I like it a lot. But we won't spoil that.
I liked
We're
it a lot
spoiling
also.
Dark Matter.
Yeah, we won't spoil. We're spoiling Dark Matter right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I would say then that add that to the recommended reading portion of the podcast. That is Mickey 17. If you liked
It is still
Dark
it's a
Matter,
book
you'll
as
probably
well.
like Mickey 17.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah,
the
it's
book
also
is Mickey 7.
Well, it's also based off a book.
Yeah.
Does anyone do anything original anymore?
No.
No?
What is it, like Shakespeare said that there's like 5 stories that are just like retold?
I know,
over and
but
over
this
again?
is like not even making a new version of that same story.
Yeah.
It's literally just remaking.
There was 7,
something.
now there's 17.
There's 10 more, Kelsey. What do you want?
I'm gonna put it in a movie, and then I'm gonna put it in a podcast, and I'm gonna put it in a TV show, and you pay me for all of it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, capitalism, girl. So well, here's another question then. Let's say, you know, we'll each try to decide this for each person. So like,
Oh goodness.
let's say 2 Zachs come up to you, and they're like, "I'm the real Zach."
No.
What would you?
Both.
How would you? Okay, first of all, fuck off.
Come on, both of us have been waiting for this moment.
What's the like for each of us? Like, I'll answer for like Kelsey, Eric, and Sophie. Like, what is the question that you ask them to like that you're willing to say on stream that you that you would ask to determine which one's which?
Which one's which?
I don't know, but wouldn't they both know the answer?
I guess if they're dark matter people, yeah.
This is like Body Snatcher.
Yeah, this is more like Body Snatcher, which is not what we're talking about. I'm just trying to think of things to talk about.
For sure.
Yeah. I would ask Eric. I would say I would ask Eric how he felt about me, and if he like complimented me or said really anything positive, I would kill that one.
That's how you would determine how the doppelganger. Okay.
Yeah. Because the real Eric would be like, even now, I'm not gonna say anything, man. And then I'd be like, all right, that's the real one.
That's the real one.
Hey, bees! It's okay that you're late. It's okay that you had a busy day. We're talking about dark matter. If you have any questions about it, ask us.
I want to also bring up, I don't like the casting of Joel Edgerton. That's not how I pictured him at
Me neither.
all.
Yeah.
So I am trying to now figure out who I did.
Yeah, Joel Edgerton doesn't strike me as cerebral.
That's
and
what I want.
Jason
A
strikes me
nerdy
as
white
cerebral.
man.
Yeah.
I need a nerdier.
I want to cast the same guy that I thought should play the lead in Project Hail Mary. I'm gonna find his name.
Yes, exactly.
Not Ryan Gosling.
Not
No.
Ryan Gosling.
Are you excited?
The
about
guy from A
Ryan
Serious Man, Michael
Is it gonna be
Stolberg,
Gosling?
a younger star.
Yeah, there's already set photos been released for it, Kelsey.
What?
What are you thinking about that? Not actually, we're not talking about that one yet. We can have another turn reads with Project Hail Mary.
Not gonna process. Because wait, Ryan Gosling's also gonna be in that Star Wars movie. What?
You didn't know that Ryan Gosling was playing Ryland Grace? Yeah.
I like Ryan Gosling, but why?
I know. I feel the same way.
God, he's fucking handsome though, man. I could look
Yeah,
at him
that's true.
all day.
Michael Stolberg in whatever this is that they took this photo from, where he's wearing like a tweed
Yes, I'm looking at the same photo.
breasted suit. What is this from? What is this from? Renee?
Hugo?
Hugo? Oh, I love that book and movie. Okay, yeah, this guy.
Michael who?
Stolberg?
It's
Stuhlbarg.
Stuhlbarg, but specifically look at him in the movie Hugo. Because that's exactly right.
Oh, yeah. You pictured this as Jason?
More like this. This
Yeah.
is still not quite what it's called.
No, his head's too wide for Jason.
Jason
Jason had a
canonically have a thin head.
Jason had a narrow.
They talked about that for like half the book. I didn't really like that. But
Maybe Jake
rest
Gyllenhaal.
of the
Maybe
book-
more Jake Gyllenhaal, like a.
That's who
Yeah.
I saw like a
he's
Jake.
too
Gyllenhaal-
handsome.
But a gaunt glasses.
Jake Gyllenhaal's willing to transform.
Yeah.
No, but he's just too handsome.
Yeah.
Be safe, bees, and hello to your roommate. And I hope that Atlanta isn't too far of a drive. And if it is, I hope you're having fun.
Or maybe
nice.
Mark Ruffalo.
Oof! Mark Ruffalo was a good Jason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric.
When I cast this in my head, back when I read it the first time, I was like, "Oh, young Mark Ruffalo."
Yeah, I can see that.
From like Kids Are All Right, era Mark
I
Ruffalo.
just watched Spotlight, so I'm thinking of.
Spotlight is very good. Okay,
Mark Ruffalo
so
also in Mickey 17.
yeah,
Yeah, he's in Mickey 17 too.
Are we? So who would we cast as Amanda?
Sorry.
What's going on, Sophie?
Little indigestion or something?
There's a train.
Oh, okay, another train.
Will's classic
wow.
train horn.
That's crazy. And once again, you're not in a moving vehicle, right?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not in a moving vehicle.
Okay.
I'm definitely not the one driving it right now.
Okay.
Lordy.
Oh man, we're gonna get sued.
By whom?
Your family when you get into an accident.
Yeah, but could you imagine the numbers that we would do if this clips alone?
Died on stream.
Oh
doing
God,
what they love.
no! Knock on some kind of wood, and preferably not with the front of your vehicle, please.
Doing what they love, talking about a book they read a decade ago.
That was too loud, Zach. Too
Damn.
loud. Okay, so Danielle, who would we cast as?
Daniela.
Daniela, thank you. Yes, Daniela Vargas.
If I could age down the woman from The Bear.
I've seen The Bear.
Lisa Cologne.
You haven't seen the Bear?
Interesting.
If I could age her down, she'd be perfect, but I also think Rosario Dawson.
Rosario
Yeah.
doesn't. Yeah.
I think Rosario's a good casting there. Yeah, Rosario is pretty good.
I think age appropriate. I think Stephanie Beatriz when she plays like a softer version, but still is like when we meet Danielle, we're like, oh, I totally get why this guy cares so much.
That's actually such a good point because she seems like such a badass.
I actually really like that. I think that's
correct.
Yeah, I like that casting a lot.
That's correct.
So like what, in their 40s?
Yeah, I think they're in like their 40s.
They've got a kid who's what, like teenage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like a hot 40.
Late 40. 40.
I mean, they are. They gotta be.
They're like mid to late 40s.
I mean, for TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so then Amanda. Amanda, I would say. You know who I would like, and it's just because I've been doing a rewatch of House, and I'd just love to see her on a big show again. Jennifer Morrison, I think, would be a really good Amanda. I think that she would do a great job. Yeah.
I
know
love her.
Yeah.
She was in Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely her like House and Once Upon a Time are her biggest.
I didn't know she was
biggest
in
productions.
House.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I totally agree. Jennifer Morrison would be good.
I think that she'd be a good Amanda. Yeah.
Because she's got spunk.
She does.
I feel like I could see Amanda being played as like a very soft, like weepy, but like.
Ooh, I would hate that. I hope that that's not. Have you watched the show?
That's not correct. No, I have not.
Eric?
I wasn't going to.
I haven't watched it.
I wasn't going to, but then I was like, well, I would be curious to see what happens next. So like, if they're pursuing a season 2, which is gonna be beyond the book.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, maybe I should probably see.
Maybe I'll just start from season 2 and just. I'll probably be able to piece it together.
That's what I figured.
I'll probably just
like,
watch the show.
I'll be able to figure it out.
There's not really any other characters to talk about cast-wise.
Florence Pugh, maybe though for Amanda as well.
Okay, yeah, she's a little young, but yeah.
Yeah, that type though, some severity behind the eyes, like
yes. I mean, Florence could do anything you sat in front of her, but. Eric, do you have a problem with me being a Florence Pugh stan?
Pooh? Florence the Pooh?
Nope. I'm Team Pooh as well. So.
I'm sure that joke has never been made.
No.
Okay.
I like who they cast as Ryan in the show, though.
Oh yeah, Ryan. Who'd they cast as?
Jimmy Simpson. I think he.
I love Jimmy Simpson.
Yeah.
We're talking.
I like him.
Jimmy Simpson is
Westworld.
Yes,
Westworld.
and also It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Yes. He's great. He's also been in some Black Mirror episodes that was like, oh yeah, you could do this.
Yeah. Dark Matter was definitely a Black Mirror episode for sure. Just a really long one. Any other thoughts or questions about Dark Matter?
No. Why did you guys want to read the book?
Because I like reading books with my friends.
Because you said you had it, and I had just bought it off of Thrift Books, and I was like, I have that already. I don't have to buy it.
Oh my god!
I mean, like,
Beast just said
definitely.
you just said, can't we just cast Nicolas Cage as everyone? If you have not.
Can you share your screen and show that video?
You know what? I will. I will.
It's worth it. It's one of the. I mean, Kelsey, you hate Nicolas Cage. You're gonna love this.
You are. I think you're gonna love.
Nicolas Cage.
This is a video of Nicolas Cage in his recent performance in a movie called The Gunslingers. And it's yeah, that's the one. And I just want you to experience this, I guess. Let me bring this over here.
Can't wait.
I could see everybody being played by Nicolas Cage, though.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen here. You guys are gonna love this. Okay. Share sound. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Share?
Can you guys see the video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Here we go. Wait, I don't think. Oh no, I don't think the stream can see it.
Oh yeah, it just went black.
All here.
Oh no, it's because it's on Discord.
We don't need to see it as much as we need them to hear.
Yeah, just just listen to Nick Cage's voice. I know you can't see us, but just hear. You'll know it when it's him. You'll know it when it's him.
Here for you, Thomas.
Next time you try to save me, grab a pistol.
There's fire in hell, Mary. Hot fire.
Man, enter into the kingdom of God.
You got that right, Doc. Sweet Jesus. Mm-hmm. Praise the Lord. Ow! This is Bible. Try it. Read it. It's good.
I'm looking for Thomas Keller.
He's not here. He's 6 feet under this mark in the graveyard. Hung for murder months ago.
Are you sure?
I'm not lying. The graveyard's on the edge of town.
That sounds so painful.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This like wasn't.
Yeah.
old.
No, it's like this year, or last year.
Yeah, that just came out a couple of months ago, I think. Yeah.
He is diabetes, I think.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, isn't that insane?
What?
Get him a cough drop or something.
That man is
That would hurt.
the versatility in Mr. Cage is something that needs to be studied.
My favorite thing is like, there's a
It was a
line.
choice.
There's a line where she's like, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "Mm," and it is so clearly the is so in his normal like voice, and then he goes
That's
into
funny.
like the rasp, but it's just like that really just you couldn't stick like
Yeah. That's
It's
so
fire.
It's fire here, man. Fire.
How do you do
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely ridiculous. And that will be an NPC in campaign 3. 100%.
Oh, I can't wait.
That's
Good luck
definitely
with that.
good.
We're asking him so many questions.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been a conversation about a third of the
48.
conversation
Nicolas Cage.
about Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Bees, I tried to get these losers to read Way of Kings. They're not doing it.
I have been thinking about it.
They said that it's too many pages, quote unquote. So
no, it is. It's too many pages.
What are we reading next? Do we know?
Oh yeah, what's the next? Do we have a next term to read?
I don't know. Hey, Bees, give us a. Do you have a rec? What's a shorter book to read for these simpletons?
They're gonna say Way of Kings.
Way of Kings. What do you mean?
We talked about this last time.
Way of Kings.
Do you have any other recommendations other than
reading
Way
The
of
Hobbit.
Kings?
You're reading The Hobbit?
Ooh.
Nobody's talked about that. We can definitely have some.
I know, let's talk about that. I just read Ninth House. I'm reading the second one now. That's pretty good.
I read 2 amazing books that I just finished. I Have Never Known Men and A Short Trip in Hell. They're both very short.
Oh, yeah.
B said the first chapter of Way of Kings.
Which is what, 1,000 pages?
No. I'm currently reading a fantasy series, The Bound and Broken, which is very good, but also very long, and so none of my friends will read it. Bees
Also
is
listening
thinking.
to Project Hail Mary, which is phenomenal. I've already read it, but the audiobook is really
I
good.
haven't finished Project Hail Mary. We could talk about Project Hail Mary. That could be a good one
so
to talk
good.
about. I'm stalling for bees.
I'm trying to look. I'm looking only at books.
Ooh, Frankenstein. That could be fun.
That's so funny. I was just about to say that the book that I'm currently reading is the graphic novel adaptation of Frankenstein by Junji Ito, who's the artist who does like Uzumaki, which is a very dark, weird, like probably you would recognize his artwork if you saw it. But
Interesting.
Yeah, that's so funny because I was just about to say Frankenstein.
Well, if you want to find out what we're going to read next, you got to join our Discord. Because that's when we'll announce it. So join our Discord and come talk to us. And Bees and I'm assuming Inked Eldritch. Thank you so much for joining us and talking with us. Thank you, Sophie, Kelsey, and Eric for joining me. Any final thoughts or anything?
No,
Great.
thanks for.
I'm going to read another
We're
book by
turning
this
the
author for
page
sure,
on
though.
this one.
Oof. All right. Yeah, we'll see you guys later.